Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. And you know what? I figured I'd bring a Chillmonger again.
Ah, for the 18th time.
This is true for the 18th time. We must really like you here, brother. Enough that you wound up getting 500 subs. Woo!
500, 500 subscribers. Remember that Subway commercial?
I don't watch TV, bro.
It was a while back. Remember Jared?
I do remember Jared.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah, I remember that guy. Didn't he get in trouble for something?
yeah, it's something horrible.
Something. Whatever, I don't know. Everybody's getting in trouble for something nowadays. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. If you're a hero style celebrity, whether it's Bill Cosby, a hero of the community, or Jared, and you just make hero sandwiches, either way, you're going down.
Mm.
So, what's going on, dude? So, anyway, hey, big shout out to Girl Talk on the Discord. Hey, that 500th sub. Actually, we're kind of mad that you weren't subbed before, but you know what? We'll let it slide because you're subbed now. So
And
she gets the
you
honor.
could be 501 if you just go on Chillmonger. It's a
That's right.
YouTube channel. You subscribe, and you get to hear me talk about the Avengers comic book that came out, or the Marauders comic book that came out. Do you read
Mm,
those things? I do.
mm,
And we can talk about it in the comment section.
that's true. And the 501, man, you should do a Star Wars story now for the 501st Stormtrooper Legion.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be nice. Who wants to be the 501st, huh? Huh? Honorary. Okay. So what do we got this week, brah? We got like their comic books back. We actually got stuff to talk about.
You want to start with real life? Like, in regards to your no justice, no peace.
That's
We
right.
got our boy Christian Cooper, who used to be a Marvel editor.
Yep.
Now all he does is watch birds at Central Park. If you guys are unfamiliar with the story, there's like a minute and a half video to accompany this, but there's a woman who called the cops on him saying, hey,
Becky. A,
Amy Cooper.
a Becky. She's a
Yeah,
Becky.
yeah, I think it's Karen actually.
A Karen. There we go. A
But
Karen. Whatever. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, they're both named Cooper, but they're not related, which was interesting to me. I'm like, was this a domestic? Turns out it was
she's
much
like,
worse.
she's like, I know this guy from the family meetings. He's no good. Okay, so
Ugh.
how I feel about this is I can't believe he forgave her.
He seems like good people. And at the end of the day, sometimes you do have to forgive somebody, not for them, but for yourself. So I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Hopefully she gets it. That's the most important thing. Is she going to actually learn? I don't know. Maybe she got fired from her job, and good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the cop that put his neck on George Floyd was his name, and murdered him. His wife divorced him.
I don't know how I feel about that one either. It's like you married the guy. It's not like he didn't have prior offenses. You knew who he was for the time you guys were together.
Love blinds.
Yeah, I
Turns out they actually
suppose.
worked together. Also, can you believe that? They worked together in a nightclub. Both part-time work at night, bouncing at a what was it called? The Minnesota Latin Club or something like that. Anyway,
Yeah,
and yeah, go figure. So they actually knew each other.
it's weird.
But we're here for comics, right?
Yeah, but that's exactly the kind of week it was, man. You want to start
Yeah,
with Henry Cavill?
it was a really messed up week. Yeah, let's talk about Henry Cavill.
A
So,
lot of
what's going on
messed
with
up
Henry Cavill?
information coming left and right because I'm thinking, okay, Warner Brothers and him are back in business and we're getting Man of Steel 2 and everything is peachy. I also heard stuff that said the Hulk is going, I mean, the relationship that Disney has with the Hulk, how he just appears in everyone's film but doesn't have his own film, is a relationship moving forward with Superman. And I've seen all these articles. You want to set me straight?
Yeah, well, they've also said that he's going to be like Nick Fury and the things. Like, I don't want him to be freaking Nick Fury. Isn't that what Batman is for? Like, what the
Hmm.
hell you got him being Nick Fury for? So there's all these rumors, and at the end of the day, it turns out wrong. He's not going to even be in the damn thing. There's they're saying, oh, he's going to be or he's not even in talks with them. Yeah, Warner Brothers would like to be in talks with him. That's the latest news out right now, dude. That's why I hate dealing in rumors
Uh-huh.
because you always got to retract something later, and everybody wants to be the first to. Well, the second they read the article or they read the tweet or they read whatever, and then they got to jump on and make a video. Oh my god, they're gonna be, And then you got to turn around later. Okay, well, guys, as it turns out, we're not actually going to be. Dude, shut up! You literally just made 2 videos about absolutely freaking nothing. My God, man! Wrote 2 articles about absolutely nothing. The light switch is on. The light switch was never on. It's worse than Schrodinger's cat at this point, dude. Y'all don't know what the hell you're doing. Shut up. He's not going to be in the freaking movie. All these rumors actually got people from like the Shazam movie excited. Like, maybe we can actually get a scene where they could show his head. Sure, they'll CGI his head on there. Maybe they'll also CGI on and then off again the freaking mustache. Why not? Like, dude, these rumors are ridiculous. They're ridiculous at this point. So the rumor was, yes, that he was supposed to be returning for one more movie, but it won't be Man of Steel 2. But who knows what is, and no, he's not actually in talks with anybody about returning. Anybody. When Warner Brothers executive was asked about it, he was like, well, we'd like to be, but no, he's not.
Boom.
This is booty. I'm so sick of this crap.
How do you not have a Superman and be doing a universe? I don't understand their logic. Whatever money he's asking for, he's worth every dollar. He's Superman. He looks the part. He's nice and young. Yeah. He's beloved by the fans. This is your guy. You have the rights to Superman in an era where Marvel's kicking your ass with Iron Man and Captain America throws his mighty shield. That guy is doing more money than Superman. Did I get the song wrong?
No, you got it 100% right. Have you ever watched that show from back in the 60s?
No, but I went on YouTube and I watched the intro.
Oh, just the intro? Huh. Those were actually real comics that Jack Kirby specifically jumped on like 8 or 10, 12, whatever issues of certain comic books so that they could then be made into, the stop motion. They're not even stop motion. I forget what they're called. They're basically just comic book movies where like one part would move. Yeah, they were really goofy, but I loved them. When I was a kid, that's all that we had, and they were the greatest thing in the world. And I just went back and I reread the 2 Tales of Suspense ones, the Captain America and Iron Man ones.
Yeah.
I loved them. They're amazing stories.
Okay, Kirby Question. Did he used to do more than one comic book a month? He's unique. This guy's a different breed.
Yeah. Jack Kirby is known for actually doing about 10 pages per day of a comic book. When you think about that, in 2 days, he could do an entire comic book. Yeah, he was that crazy. He was able to, back in the day, without getting royalties or anything, he was able to buy himself a nice house in, I think it was Long Island. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah.
He's the king.
He is the king. So speaking about rumors for movies, there's the rumor now that Margo Robbie is going to return for
Harley Quinn.
More Harley Quinn stuff.
I think that she deserves that. She is a great actress, and she has the star power, and she made the character something great in Suicide Squad. Just because she had one dud doesn't mean she shouldn't. What's the new film that they're going to use her for?
Well, we don't. Again, it's a rumor, so they don't even know. They're just like, oh yeah, there's apparently rumors of that she's in or that WB is considering returning her for something else, despite the low box office sales and the constant name changes of the Birds of Prey movie. It's like 3 they changed the name of that movie like 3 times. Yeah. That is nuts, dude. Anyway, she's going to be in the next Suicide Squad movie with by James Gunn. She's going to be in that anyway.
When you say she's going to be in it, that means that they filmed it already and she's in it.
Oh, yeah. It's done. They're just doing the post-production stuff still, I guess. So I don't know when it's going to be announced that it's going to be released and blah, 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 blah. But, like, she's already filmed those parts and everything. It's a long time ago when Gunn was doing Suicide Squad. Anyway. Yeah, but these booty rumors, man. Booty!
Bootios. They make sure you ain't booty.
Yo, I've actually got the new Kofi Kingston toy, and I was thinking about opening him today in the live stream, and I didn't because I've got that and the Matt Hardy one that comes with they're actually doing the very first Build-A-Figure for the WWE stuff, so you can actually build a referee. So I've already got the Cactus Jack opened, and I've already got the what's the other one? I can't remember what the other figure is. Anyway, there's 4 figures, and it makes a referee with 2 different sets of hands, like regular kung fu grip hands and then open hands to do like tap the mat 3 times.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I got them all. I wanted the referee.
That's when you know you're a collector. You're like, you know what? There's all these wrestlers, but I need that referee.
Yeah, this is actually my 3rd Kofi Kingston that I've bought, and I still haven't found versions of the other 2 members, Xavier Woods or
Big E Langston.
Well, it's just Big E now. We got to cancel all the last names of everybody. But
oh no, Antonio Cesaro. They canceled the first name for that guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you always got to cancel a name. It's like it can only be one name now. Andrade Cien Almas can only be Andrade now.
I remember them canceling Alexander Rusev.
Yeah, and it's just Rusev.
And then they just canceled the whole thing.
Yeah, now they just canceled him, but they kept his wife, so they can continue with the stupid storyline of her being with freaking Bobby Lashley. It's like, Bobby Lashley. Do you remember when he was a beast powerhouse back in the WWE, and then when he was in Impact, this dude was a straight up monster, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then like WWE had Brock Lesnar, and then all of a sudden it was like, Bobby Lashley's coming, and I'm thinking, this is going to be the greatest freaking thing ever. Like, oh my god! And what's going on? What's going on? And now they just announced that Matt Riddle is coming to SmackDown, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's like they're gonna butcher it. Who cares? Who cares? He might as well stay in NXT where at least he's used, the right way. Whatever. Just it's all booty. But they're promising that, hey, he's the Kurt Angle, who's back now. He's saying, oh yeah, man, I've had my eyes on this guy for months now, and I've worked with him, and I'm helping him out, and I really think that he's the next big thing. It's like, yeah, but they also made you the same guy who you're trying to pitch that to, because he's not trying to pitch it to us. He's trying to pitch it to Vince McMahon. Let's face it, Vince McMahon, the guy who made him lose to this goddamn jabron, Baron Corbin. I got this figure because he looks like a mafia hitman in the suit. So
the business slacks,
right? It's like,
man. He cashed in Money in the Bank and lost.
So did
Damien Sandow.
Damien Sandow, thank you, the Miz's old partner. Yeah, that was the first one, and it's like they didn't know what to do with that guy. Specifically, Vince didn't know what to do with that guy. I don't know, man. And they. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, they said that Vince is going to be in charge of the WWE for the rest of his life. The investors have already said so. Like, nope, we're going to keep him in charge.
Yeah, at least we got NXT, we got AEW.
Yeah, we're good. Oi. So what else is there?
There's Disney, who actually give the fans what they want, like the Disney Gallery show that they made.
Yeah.
The one thing I picked from this week's episode was when they spoke about the child. The words they used.
You mean Yiddle?
Yiddle. Bryce Dallas Howard looks over at Jon Favreau as she says, baby. And then she doesn't say Yoda. She just says baby. And then every other time in the episode, they refer to it as baby. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's like an interesting, behind the scenes take that I wanted, because I always wondered what they called it on set. Yeah. Baby.
Because with the toy, they released it as the child.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. Just, dude, uniform it. Just call him Yiddle. Like, what is this? What are you waiting for, peeps? Yiddle. Throw me a bone. Yeah, I just told you before we started this that I missed the damn thing, because right before we went live here, I sit down with my wife. I was like, hey, let's watch this. Can we get on with Chillmonger? And I know he's going to want to talk about this week's episode, so let's push play. So we watched, and she's like, this was amazing. I was like, yeah, it was actually pretty good. They were talking about all the light and the volume and all the different, shows and the CGI and everything. And then I get up and I talk to Chill here, and Chill's like, that was last week's episode. I'm like, damn it, I forgot to watch last week's episode last week. So, yeah, I'm still behind. I just watched it. I'm still behind.
I need more of these Disney galleries. I say this every week, but shoot, yeah. Black Widow, give me a behind the scenes after that movie comes out of what happened. You know what I would love if they did? If they asked Comics Explained or one of them guys from YouTube who know a bunch of stuff about comic books to actually do like a segment of the history of Yelena Belova or or Scarlet. What?
What am I, chopped frickin' liver? I'm right here. People who know about comic books, you're like, oh, go to the big guys, go to Rob. Funk Rob, all right?
I want to hear about the characters. I want them to do stuff like that and get these insiders and make it known to the public of who these people are. They might actually have a chance. You look at Yelena Belova and you look at the success of her.
Mm-hmm.
Between me and you, I think she is not a successful character. She's a failure of a legacy character. She exists when she debuted, like 20 years ago or so, and since then, when's the last time we saw her in a comic book, right?
Very recently, and the
Secret
time before
Empire?
that was recently also, in her own comic book.
She has a comic book. What's it called?
There was the Black Widow comic book. Actually, she was also in the Bucky and Winter Soldier comic book most recently. Bucky and the Winter Soldier, Buckeye and Hawkeye. The Tales of Suspense, Volume 3, I guess that would be something like that.
What year was this?
It was just a couple of months ago.
They
There was
made a
only
book-
5 issues of it.
They made a book called Tales of Suspense, and she was the star of it.
No, she was at. They were trying to find. They were like, we think that Black Widow is still alive, so they were hunting, and then they come to realize, no, it's actually Yelena that we're after. Holy crap! And then Black Widow herself actually appears and acknowledges, yes, I'm still alive. Hey, so yeah.
All right. I still, what I'm trying to say still stands. That she's just not an A-list character.
Oh, she's definitely not.
The way that Deadpool kind of took off.
Mm.
She's not even B-list. She's not even C-list. Like the
Oh,
way that the
No, she's not.
would you give her C? No, you wouldn't give her C-list either. So when they create these guys and they exist and they're just like in the middle of nothingness and they barely get mentioned, the cloak and daggers, if you will, you gotta get rid of them. You gotta like kill them. You gotta send them to another dimension. You gotta turn them into villains. Just get rid of them so that you can replace them with new heroes. That way, the new heroes can have more focus on them. The new Agents of Atlas can be more meaningful because the old characters are gone. So when they ask for heroes, they need to ask, "Where's the Agents of Atlas?" And that's like a worthy question because there's so many damn heroes out there who are not doing anything.
Yeah, I could see that to a certain degree. I don't know. Yelena Belova is a D-lister. Well, she's more of a C-lister. A D-lister is like there's bottom of the barrel. You're literally like scraping the bottom. What do you call it? But Yelena Belova, I'd say she's more of a C-lister. But even Black Widow is a B-lister.
Right.
You know, saying she's not an A-lister. Like, come on. Yeah, it's like name the Avengers. Most people are going to forget to ever name her. You know, even if they've only watched the movies. But that being said, yeah, Yelena's interesting. She needs a story outside of the Black Widow and trying to replace the Black Widow and whatnot.
Bingo.
That's what they really need to do with her.
It's nice that we agree on that.
Yeah,
Why did the mutants get away with it? You never say, well, the mutants need more of a story than just being a mutant because they're all the same thing.
Because there's so much that's involved in being a mutant. You know, they're more than just like they're every single group that's gotten hate ever. You know, and so many people can relate to that. You know, you could have somebody who's, you know, you can have women who, you know, they feel like they assign themselves as suffragettes. You can have men who consider themselves incels. You can have black men. You can
who's
have
that mutant?
I don't know, all of them. Maybe Kurt. I don't know. Nightcrawler. You know what I'm saying? But maybe Maggot who wants to get with a guy named Maggot who's got maggots in his stomach for crying out loud.
Hey,
But I mean,
Hickman, write that story.
Glob.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a freaking incel. You know, like
I remember Wolverine and the X-Men when what's his name? Chamber was giving a speech to these kids. He's like, yo, listen, man, everyone in this room right now, your bodies are kind of like mine. We're never going to have a normal life, probably not going to get intimate with anybody. And he's like just breaking it down to those kids. And it was like Rock Slide and all the weird looking mutants. And I'm like, that's a conversation that needs to be had. That's that PE class that, you know, needs to be had over there in the Jean Grey Institute of Higher Learning.
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. Like every story that they've got is going to be engaging because it's not just who's the bad guy of the week. That barely even matters.
No, it is because who's the bad guy? Are you gonna face a Lydia Nance? Or are you gonna face a Mr. Sinister? You're gonna face an Apocalypse type character, maybe William Stryker type character. They're coming at you from every angle. You're gonna face Orchid. Sorry, not Orchis or Orchid.
Orcus.
There it is. You know what I mean? Like there's the hate that you're mentioning
Mhm.
are manifested in these different organizations trying to kill him. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
one of them
So,
being the Avengers.
yes. Yeah.
When you read AVX, whose side were you on?
AVX,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much always on Captain America's side. I wasn't on Tony Stark's side.
Mhm.
Hey, Cyclops was right.
That's
Well,
right.
that's the thing, though. Cyclops was right, but Cyclops was also a little out of control in that. We could have that conversation if you want one of these days.
I gotta read the story over to be armed with the knowledge I need. Nah, I'm
Or
always gonna
just
be
go
pro
and check out
Mason.
my very first comic book courtroom where I have two people actually debating. I'm just the judge. I'm a neutral factor in this, and I just let them go through the actual facts of the Avengers versus X-Men story. And hey,
What's the next one you're doing? Did Riri Williams steal?
yes, that was actually supposed to be filmed yesterday, but
Okay.
one of the guys just started a new job, and he's really busy right now. But yeah, we're going to be doing Is Riri Williams guilty of theft?
I think yes, and I'm interested in seeing this.
Right? So what else we got?
Let's talk about the video game world, because I know Avengers is coming out in the beginning of September. Can't wait for that one. Why do you care about Minecraft Dungeons?
Well, about the Avengers, I did wind up bucking up and finally getting the Captain America Gamerverse figure. So the other two Gamerverse figures that were available, it's in the Abomination wave, is Ms. Marvel, which is it's almost an exact replica of the recent one that they put out, and from the Sandman Build-A-Figure. Or Absorbing Man. I think that was Absorbing Man. I think that was the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure. Anyway, and then also the Tony Stark Iron Man Gamerverse version, whatever. And you build a new version of the Abomination with this. But anyway, so yeah, I finally buckled down and got him. I'm going to use him like a U.S. agent. As far as the what's happening right now in the Gamerverse is Mojang, the creator of Minecraft. They actually put out earlier this week Minecraft Dungeons. And I don't know exactly how successful it is. It's too early to see how many people are actually playing it. I don't see a lot of people. I don't know about today, but I don't see a lot of people as of Saturday night or Saturday morning playing Minecraft Dungeons, but still a lot of people playing Minecraft. That being said, they are still making a whole lot of extra downloadable content available soon, like this month, or excuse me, in June. Excuse me, for the Minecraft dungeons. So I don't know. It's something I might consider playing. We'll see what's up. It's all going to focus on being in the dungeons. It's like a top down, so a little bit more. It's like 2D plus to be able to see these guys go through the dungeons and beat up the bad guys. And yeah, I think it's going to be like a League of Legends, but for now, solo player.
It sounds like a HBO Max type launch.
A nice segue.
You gonna get the HBO Max when it's available in Canada?
When is it available in Canada?
I don't know.
Is it available now in Canada? Like, I don't know.
Wow, then they did a terrible job of marketing if it is actually available in Canada.
Because it started on the 27th in America at the very least.
Uh-huh.
I don't know when it's going to be available up here. I do, however, know that it's not going to be available for the next 5 years over in the UK, which is just an epic. Like, what are you doing? There must be some kind of a big law there, trying to prevent them, whatever. I don't know, but it's just stupid. So sick and tired of the dumb freaking laws that some countries put on things. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's horrible. It's like those existing contracts that keep Netflix movies on Netflix rather than coming over. Like, we still gotta wait for Infinity War to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Whatever, because they already made the contract with Netflix. I don't know, whatever. Happens. So HBO Max. There was something else about HBO Max. I'm trying to remember what it was. I have the name Content Chief Kevin Riley.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. He's just acknowledged that the Snyder Cut release, whatever they're calling it, Zack Snyder's Justice League, that's actually been in the work for quite some time now. I don't know what quite some time means, but it seems to me as though it's within 2-year time span, which means for approximately 2 years or just shy of 2 years, they've been planning on doing this in the first place. They've actually been in talks with Zack Snyder and his wife, and it's like I'm so tired of these freaking rumors and the behind the scenes and all this stuff. So they've actually been leaking this stuff and keeping it quiet on the WB side just because. So understand what this means. All of this, or at least I'm going to say an easy, being generous, 50% of the whole release the Snyder Cut thing has actually been manufactured. We have been manipulated into pushing, release the Snyder Cut! And it's like, dude, they were apparently planning on releasing it the whole time. They could have given that $30 million last year so that HBO Max could actually debut showing the Snyder Cut, part 1 of 4 of the Snyder Cut. I am so disgusted with these dirty freaking marketing tactics that these big corporate execs do.
I like how you recognize it's not just one company that did this one time. The big corporate execs do that all the time. It's called the news when they manufacture these stories or these grassroots movements, and then they report on it like it's some sort of fan initiative. Welcome to the year 2020.
Yeah.
When I saw Jason Momoa tweet, I just saw the Snyder Cut and it's awesome. This was like maybe even a year ago.
Yeah.
But a guy wouldn't do that unless he was instructed by management to do so, because that ruffles the waters, right? It's not something you do.
That's something that I was thinking. It's not just him, it's others who've been saying the same thing. Ben Affleck, where it's like, Ben Affleck, okay, he quit, so whatever, right?
Yeah.
But Jason Momoa did this, and it's like, dude, I know that he's the off the wall one. He's one that wants to, sign autographs, F Marvel. And so he did that like at least one time anyway. But dude, you're talking about, you just made Aquaman at the time before this was. Which came out first? I think Shazam came out first. Anyway, like one of the 3 only truly successful DCEU movies that came out: Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Aquaman. Yeah. And you were part of that. And you're going to risk your job? And it turns out, the whole freaking thing was probably manipulated. I'm disgusted, man.
So Aquaman came out Christmas 2018. Shazam came out March of 2019, in between Captain Marvel and what's it called? Well, I saw it in March. It actually came out in April, in between Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. And also I said ruffle the waters. I meant ruffle the feathers. I'm sorry. But that's not how the saying goes.
You can say ripple the water, put ripples in the water.
Maybe that's why I said that. Yeah. Okay.
There we go. I'm more familiar with the syllogisms and idioms because that's kind of what I do.
Are you familiar with Simon Kinberg, the idiot, who thinks that he? Well, no. It's very noble of these guys. It's very reach for the stars, everybody. I would love to do a Marvel movie. Just shut the fuck up. Like, please stop talking. It's not the same as every other studio you've ever worked for. These guys plan things out. These guys have a direction that they go to, and every movie has to have a plot point hit so that the next movie can also hit it and they build on it and expand on it, then they team up. You can't just say, it would be great for me to do a Marvel movie. I would love. He said he wanted the X-Men in Marvel, and he wanted to be in charge of that.
Yeah, I think that we need to have somebody in the MCU who's in charge of just pimp slapping somebody. I say we get the Godfather from the WWE. Because he was known for being able to. He was one of those guys who could just, lay a hand, like smack somebody across the cheek, and literally knock them the hell out. Like have them wake up sometime later, don't know where they are.
If you could get a Marvel character to do the slapping, I'm gonna give it to Kamala. She just embiggens and
Just don't cuff the ear, but knock this dude out. Dude, Simon freaking Kinberg, like X-Men 3, X United, and Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix?
the movie's so bad they didn't call it X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Bruh. And he's like, it's really hard to get 2 movies into just one movie. When did they say that it was supposed to be 2 movies? What are you doing right now? Dude, you're Simon Kinberg. With all due respect, shut the fuck up. My God, man. This guy. Like, just shut up, dude. Somebody needs to just slap this guy on the side of the freaking head. Do not let this person into the MCU. This is literally like, when people start trying to cast themselves, like, what do you call it? Jodie Foster talks crap about these movies. They're all stupid. The superhero movies. But then again, I mean, if they were to invite me to be in one, I'd be in one. And of course,
She
you got to
said
say it
that?
with that Southern accent. Oh yeah, she said that. This was like years ago. This was years ago, and it's like, are you kidding me right now? You just badmouth these movies. Called them a circus. I think that was the word she used, circus. And she says, but I mean, if they asked me to be in one, I'd be in one. Nah, you don't get any Marvel money. Bye bye. You go like, and what's the last thing that Jodie Foster has done? Exactly. Nah, we're good. We're good.
She's not the next Chris Evans.
She ain't Jack.
What's it gonna take
Speaking
for
of-
Chris Evans? What?
Speaking of, you're great with these segues, man.
Yeah, so just talk about it.
I'm sorry. Do you have it set where like your voice drops or something when I talk, or no?
No, I think we're talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
it feel like our voices are being heard?
No, just you stop when I say anything. And
Yeah, I
it's
don't
like,
want to interrupt.
Usually not. That's not usually you. Usually you're just like, yeah, Bill's talking. I don't care. I'm going to
Yeah,
keep on talking.
I'm working on that.
What is this? You should just keep on talking.
So
It's fine.
Chris-
I'm used to it.
Captain America, Chris Evans, the man, the myth, the legend. With the last movie we saw him, he was an old man, and he gave a shield away.
That's right.
Apparently, he's what?
Yeah, he's the whole idea is that he's done with the movies. He only, what was it, 6 movies for him, right? Everybody else got 9. He got 6 because what happened? His anxiety was always built up, and he's just like, I can't do. He kept on saying I don't want to do it, but the MCU was really into him, and it's like, dude, we really want you to play the role of Captain America. And he's like, well, I don't know. So they reduced it to 6, and it's like,
no, he
hey,
was in all 3 Captain Americas. He was in
Yes.
all 4 Avengers movies.
Oh, so he did an extra one. Cool.
And then you can, they filmed Avengers Endgame and Infinity War the same day, so maybe that
Yes.
helps.
Yeah.
The
So
same.
you could separate it, but he fulfilled his contract.
But he did bonus stuff too, like he was at the end of Spider-Man. He did the Thor Dark World
Yeah,
when
that
Loki
was nice
impersonated him.
That was nice also. Yeah, but whatever it is, I'm saying whether he did more than 6 or what, it's the idea that they offered him, according to him,
Yeah.
he said they actually offered me to do only 6, but his anxiety kept on, preventing me. He's like, no. Human Torch was one thing, but like this is an iconic character. I can't do this. So he had a lot of respect for the character. It shows. All that being what it is, he said he's like, I like the way that it ended. The only way I would return is if there was some major character development for that character of Captain America. So the likelihood of him being in Bucky Winter Soldier would be really low. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a misdirection, but hey.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. When you said Bucky and Winter Soldier earlier,
Why do I keep doing that?
when we were talking about Yelena Belova appearing in a comic, so she appeared in Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it was called no, not that. No, it was called Tales of Suspense, where it was actually Hawkeye and Winter Soldier. I corrected myself and I said Hawkeye and Winter Soldier, but I did originally say Bucky and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps coming out like that.
Okay, so if his criteria is major character development, I believe living 50 years with his woman secluded might just change the character a little bit. He's not the same Cap he was. So if that's what he's looking for, then Marvel knows they just got to make that phone call. And he's got the super soldier serum. He's gonna be wearing all them prosthetics on his face. He'll be CGI to look really old, and he's gonna be kicking ass. Give me that shield back, Falcon. You don't. It's my shield now.
No, give him the holographic shield, just like in the comics.
That's fine too.
Yeah, I'd be cool with it. Go and get it from what's his name, Coulson. He was using it in the whatever the Agents of Shield TV series for a while. All right. What else is there?
You want to talk comic books? Something we've never done in a long time.
I haven't done it in like 2 months. Yes.
I saw your Avengers comic book review, and you're just down on Jason Aaron. You gave him a hard time. He has concluded some of his stories, but he left it with a to be continued, which is a great thing to do.
So that's not a conclusion.
But you're always supposed to leave it with to be continued, though, to see where the next step is.
No.
You should always have something to be continued, to be built on.
But if everything says to be continued, that the definition of to be continued means it's not concluded.
Fine. I'll put it this way. Let's look at the vampire era. They had a problem. They solved the problem. But at the final page, you could see that Dracula wanted everything to work exactly the way it worked out. So it's like, ooh, I am intrigued. Even though there's no immediate threat, I would like to see where this goes. I think that's fine.
Yeah, sure. So where's Blade now? Where's the baby man thing? What's the deal with that? What's the origin of all these things? What's going on? How come we were left with more questions than were answered? You know, saying where's the Starbrand baby? You know, saying like what's going on with the Starbrand baby, Starbrand?
I think Black Panther told Steven, as he calls him, like, look after the kid because Moon Knight is after him too. So,
yeah. So where is he right now? That's the thing. Like now all of a sudden there's the Moon Knight thing going on. For crying out loud, you got the Agent Coulson stuff going on. Similar, but not the exact same as the what do they call the Squadron Supreme thing that's going on. You still got the vampires because Wolverine and Wolverine is going to be dealing with it, I guess. The Victor Bogdanovic art is going to be covering the Wolverine book with Benjamin Percy writing it.
Well, there's your answer. The stuff he did with Namor is being expanded by Chip Zdarsky, by Greg Pak. The stuff he's doing with vampires is being expanded by Ben Percy.
Then say it.
The books come out.
No, you say it. Otherwise, we're expecting it in that book. Look,
but the universe is attached. You should know that.
Attached, yes, but no. You can't do the. You should know. There is so much happening. Like they keep on rebooting the comic books, going back to issue 1s, then going back to legacy numbers, back to issue 1s, and so on and so forth. Nowadays, they're putting both on there, which is cute, but there's so many constant reboots that it's so impossible. It's hard for me to remember which books follow which books, and so therefore to follow the storyline. And so many books get canceled. There's a lot of people who are going to read the Avengers stuff, and they're going to be like, oh, well, I guess just like Jim Zub's Champions, the book just got canceled. So we're not going to find out any more about the story. None of this is to actually lead to more things. Where did you hear that Chip Zdarsky is going to be picking up the Namor thing?
I saw him on the cover of a book called Invaders, and the advertisement was...
No, that's not the same. What do you call it? Namor has the Phoenix Force. Or the Phoenix Force is coming to talk to him or something like that. At the end of that Avengers thing. That's got nothing to do with the Chip Zdarsky thing.
No, the Chip Zdarsky thing expanded on the Atlanteans having beef with the surface dwellers.
Did it?
Yeah, the whole Invaders thing. And then the other book I'm talking about by Greg Pak was Atlantis Attacks. If you see a book called Atlantis Attacks and you don't think that's Namor related, I can't help you.
It's obviously Namor related, but are you sure that they had the same thing in mind? Are you sure that the editors at Marvel were just like, okay, so here's bang, bang, bang. Like nobody's got continuity anymore.
No, it feels like those are, they reference the previous stories and the previous events of what Atlantis has been through and what Namor's been through.
Atlantis being attacked or attacking recently, all of that, like that's a constant theme. Just the like when is I don't know that and the Serpent Crown. That's always been a Namor thing. Always been a Namor thing. Holy crap, that's exactly what's been happening. When has Namor ever had a story besides something to do with the Atlantis and Earth, surface dwellers area, or the Serpent Crown?
Utopia.
There's never really been a story otherwise, right?
Right.
It's always been about those two things. And it's like, dude, at some point, I'm getting a little bored. You got this, this amazing kingdom, and it's always the exact same stuff. So
Hey,
all the stories blend in with each other.
on my like A-list, B-list characters, Namor is B-list, would you say?
He's B-list, yes.
Yeah, that's fair. Like sometimes he'll have his own titled comic, and sometimes he
Hmm.
won't.
Yeah, but even then, it's a B-list comic. So
Uh,
because again, what stories have they really done? Look, there's a whole bunch of Namor fans like myself who, likewise, as myself, can name other stories that he's been in, but they're so few and far between. It's like the first, if you were going to start playing like Name Game or something like that, if I say Thanos, what do you right away think of?
the Infinity Gauntlet.
Exactly. That was not something that we had a conversation about. I literally just thought of that really quick, and you right away said Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, he's also had the Cosmic Cube. Most people don't remember that. You know what I'm saying? He's done a couple other things before, but
He also
different.
destroyed Ironheart's armor.
There's that too, right? But all those things are so few and far between from the 17 times or so
Yeah,
that he's going after the freaking Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, come on. So yeah, it gets to a point where it's like, bruh, enough.
Guys
Can
need-
you can we do something? Jim Starlin had this great idea, but he's had many more ideas than just that. So yeah.
But it's like something I said earlier. Maybe I'm repeating this from a podcast like maybe 10 weeks ago. But when these new writers get on the job, they can't wait to write stories about the people who they were like reading about in the past. That's why we get Craven with another Hunted storyline. That's why we get another Mr. Sinister, storyline. Instead of creating a new villain for the X-Men, they'll just be like, I gotta do this apocalypse thing because when I was a kid, there was the apocalypse event. What was it called again?
Age of Apocalypse.
That was it, right? They're like, well, I got this better idea. Age of X-Men. It's gonna be great. It's like, shut up and create something new, please, and thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Too much stuff is just homage stuff, which can be cute, but not if everybody's doing it. Like we said before, Kamala Khan and Thor being Jane Foster was really cute. And then they just started doing it with everybody. It's like it's a freaking whirlwind of redundancy.
And in the last 10 years, okay, we got Miles Morales who's successful, and we got Kamala who's successful. I can't give anyone else that. I can't say that anyone else has been a hit. Sales are good. Popularity, no one. We got Miles because of a movie. Kamala because of a video game, because she's actually pretty successful outside of that.
Yeah.
Her trade sells well. Her number one.
Yeah. That's about it, though.
The new event that I'm hyped for that Marvel will do eventually is been building up in Venom. It's been building up in Thor. It's been building up in Silver Surfer. When Null comes to the Earth, when he actually shows up, it's gonna be crazy.
Could be.
It's gonna be better than
be on it.
better than Ten of Swords. It's gonna be better than Empire. This is something that's been brewing for over 3 years now.
Yeah. Empire could be good too. I'm really hoping. There's a whole bunch of things where I'm just like, dude, as long as they don't drop the ball, these could be amazing stories. Like, did you see some of the advertisements for Empire?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
That Hulkling is actually now in charge of the Kree Empire?
right. That was an
And he's made
incoming.
Yeah, and then there's the he made the peace treaty with the Skrulls, and now
Mhm.
everybody's going after Earth. Like,
But it does feel like flavor of the week.
if they make it flavor of the week, that's all it's going to be. It's got to be something that's deep and impactful. And that's why I'm saying, like, there's just way too many stories out there, way too many people making events, way too many events. It's all just booty. They need to just stop and start making something memorable. Everything in business nowadays, man, every single thing for the most part in business is short-term profit over long-term gain.
Yeah. And I can't see a way aliens and stuff happening with the Skrull and Kree Empire gonna affect every comic book that I read that takes place on Earth. We only got like 4 space books at a time. The rest are taking place on Earth, so we're not. If they don't even honor like Secret Empire and War of Realms, then what are the War of Realms gets honored by Al Ewing actually.
Yeah. Here's a question. With I remember there's a while ago that it was just last year that Donny Cates said, "Hey, I've just been put in charge of everything cosmic in Marvel.
Yeah.
Everything has to go through me for cosmic." So does that mean Empire is going through him?
Not anymore. He's doing Thor now.
What does that mean?
That means that when he was in charge of cosmic stuff, he was doing Silver Surfer Black, he was doing Guardians, and they all kind of flowed with each other. He had this Thanos story. I understand why, because he was doing Null stuff.
He's still doing Thor. He's still got the looming. Like, look at what he's doing right now with the cosmic Thor, basically. You know,
So you think Black Winter and Null are related?
they very well could be.
Okay.
Knowing Cates, like he's his mindset seems to be a lot like mine. Like, how can I combine everything into one? And if I
think
can't,
that's
I don't want to
admirable.
do it.
And I
Yeah.
think that's a great thing that it's going through him. I thought you were going to say it wasn't.
No, I'm saying, is Empire going through him? That's what I'm saying. It's a question. I don't presume to give a question that I already know the answer to. I'm genuinely asking the question, and I wonder if there's somebody who could, let me know. Is Donny Cates still in charge of space? Does everything cosmic have to go across Donny's, figurative desk?
So maybe it did go through him and he said, fine, guys, I'm not doing nothing with Krees and Skrulls. That's all you.
Yeah, and if so, cool. Like, I don't know that he's, editing it and whatnot, but that's a thing. I'm curious because I know that, I don't know about Slot. Slot's got a good way of doing a bunch of really cool things as long as he's interested in doing it. But as far as Ewing is concerned, this guy is himself a cosmic force. This guy's created so many new concepts and characters that are just wow, So I'm pretty sure that there's the potential this is going to be a huge big deal in the with the Empire event. That's my opinion on it. Ewing is on it, which genuinely impresses me.
Yeah, I think that the next big thing in space is going to be the Null story, and it's going to dwarf Empire.
It probably will. Probably will. But that's probably 3 years off, like you said.
And I feel like when we get Null, he's not going to die at the end of the event. We're going to have like a permanent fixture in Marvel who's scary. He's our next Magneto, Doctor Doom level threat. But with Empire, I feel like they're going to solve this little Empire problem
Yes.
by the end of this.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree with that. There is going to be a new comic book. What is it? One of the Empire events, Captain Marvel issue number 18.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Thompson and Corey Smith are on it. Carol becomes the new Supreme Accuser. So there's Ronan the Accuser, and there's a couple other accusers every so often hinted at. But she's going to be the Supreme Accuser. Wow.
Sounds like
everybody
Empire.
has to pick sides.
Yeah, it's got tie-in stench all over it. Remember the War of Realms
It says
tie-in?
it's Italian. Yeah.
With Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
And like since then, nothing has come of it. That's the kind of vibes I'm getting from this one.
Well, when you're told to do something, you got to do it.
You'll let me know if it's a good book or not. I'll watch your review.
Hey. Excuse me. New comics. When is this? In April. We're going to... What? April.
Are you reading the Marauders? Are you reading
the
final page of Marauders?
I don't know what the Widowmakers thing.
No, so on the last page of the X-Men book Marauders, it tells you what the next things in Dawn of X are going to be, and the release dates are all saying April 1st, April 8th, April 15, April 22. They're not on schedule, so it's funny.
Yeah, it's weird, right? They didn't bother to fix that. But yeah, likewise, I said in April. So I guess it's probably going to be in 2 months. So probably not in June. Probably July.
Children of the Atom was highlighted in red. House of X issue 2, the Moira issue, where it
Yeah.
was highlighted in red, remember? So they're
Yeah,
giving
those are
that the
important
red
issues.
treatment. Is that because it's special, or is this like, oh, we know marketing, we know this is going to be effective?
If they did that, then they betray trust.
That is true.
So I
So
don't know that Hickman would approve of that. He is still the head of X.
whatever that means, yeah.
Exactly.
I remember the day that Children of the Atom was announced, he announced also on Twitter, you don't gotta read every comic, which is the
Yes.
biggest vote of non-confident, and I'd be really mad at him if I was in anything related to with Children of the Atom. So that was him telling me, Chillmonger, it's okay, you don't gotta read that one.
Possibly. I'll let you know how that one is too. Now, as I was saying, Widowmakers is going to be a new book coming out by Devin Grayson and Michelle Bandini. It's going to feature the Red Guardian and Yelena Belova. You were just
There it is.
asking what books is she in, so
She's getting her second wind. This is her second try to become a successful character. As long as you're gonna be a legacy character, you're fighting an uphill battle. So good luck.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So here's the thing. You heard about the Yellow Hulk?
That's the IDW book.
Yep.
Weren't we talking about? Remember the beginning of last week's podcast? We're talking about Green Lantern and how it's so unoriginal. They're just gonna make another Yellow Lantern and a new color lantern. We already have a Red Hulk. We had Gray Hulk and Green Hulk. That was explained because of the printing and everything.
It's technically Blue Hulk, A-Bomb, which is Rick Jones.
Yeah. So what's this
There's
Yellow Hulk
the
all
green and the red She-Hulk. You know, the Shulk and Shirulk. So IDW, they have a Yellow Hulk. Now, this is a lot like the stuff that Comic Boom and I were talking about. How you just simply have, go back, if anybody's curious, go back and check out the video that I did. It's an hour and a half long video, but it is a very informative video about 5 gripes that we each have. So his 5 gripes, my 5 gripes, comes to 10 gripes, comic book gripes. One of the things that he had was the selling of a lot of these comic books on eBay. You know, the scalpers, basically, the flippers, who essentially what they're doing is they're actually putting stuff on eBay, and then with a different account, they're buying the stuff at like a $20, $40 price tag, so that this way it looks like these things are selling. Then they take the same comic book, because they don't have to actually ship it. They can just say, received, really good vote. And then they could just put it up again, and people say, well, it's been selling for $40. I guess I better jump in on it now. So all of a sudden they're inflating the value of this book. So guys, I really hope that you are checking out this podcast. If nobody else is talking about it, it's false. It's fake. It's booty. It's all bogus. Don't believe the hype, man. This is an inflated price. The book is Marvel Action Avengers, issue number 10 by IDW. It's not canon with the Marvel Universe. It's an IDW book. They have the license for this kitty kind of version of the Hulk, and it's a yellow version of the Hulk. They've already got the toys coming out for the yellow Hulk and the blue Hulk, and it's basically just they're taking the same exact skin. They released the green Hulk, so like, hey, let's do the red Hulk also, much like my Venom Build-A-Figure over here that I've got. They're going to do the same thing with all this, you know, with the red Hulk, and they're going to have a yellow, a white, and all these other ones. They're just going to keep on doing the same thing that we were just talking about. They're going to keep on giving a different skin for the exact same thing, and then saying, buy it because it's valuable. And no, it's not.
That's a cool trick. You put it on eBay, you buy it yourself, and then you get to say, this is a $40 book because people are buying it for $40.
Yeah.
I like it.
You would. So there is going to be a new character that's going to be pretty interesting, and you can have it not for $40, but for free. Oh, that's right. When New Comic Book Day, Free Comic Book Day, I should say, shows up, and I'm not sure exactly when. I don't know if do they have a day locked down yet? Have you seen anything?
No.
Me neither. No day lockdown as of the making of this video, which is Saturday night into Sunday morning. Just turned Sunday morning recently. Free comic book day. One of the offerings is going to be Venom, where there's going to be a new character introduced called Virus. So you want a first appearance of a brand new character? Don't pay a penny for it. Simply get in line, or if you already have a pull box with your peeps and you've been pulling some business, remember your own value as a customer. Go up to your comic book retailer and say, hey, so here's the deal. Can you please put one of those in my pull box?
It's not that hard of a negotiation.
Yeah, it's really not. It's really not. Just say, can you please put one of those in my pull box for me? That's it. If not, get a pull box now, today, and put in a couple of comic books, pay a couple extra bucks for it, whatever, and say, listen, maybe next week, say, can you also put in the new comic book day thing, for the Venom one? Just something along those lines, or be in line early to make sure you go up and get that, because that's going to be a big deal. Find a good comic book store that doesn't, take the things off the shelf, like take half of them off the shelf right away and be like, oh yeah, we're all sold out, sorry. And then they start, bagging and boarding and putting up $40 themselves. Because this one, I promise you, this one is absolutely going to go up high in value quickly. And the drop off isn't going to be by much. So if this thing is selling for $100 on the day after Free Comic Book Day, you'd figure like 2 months later, it might come down to 90. Like, this is going to be a big deal. So definitely get your hands on this. Hook or crook?
I think that is a stupid business decision, to make a Free Comic Book Day new character, but it's also great for the consumers. So what am I going to complain about?
I don't see any problem with doing this whatsoever. I think that it is especially after the COVID-19 thing, I think it is a great idea to do something like this. Again, they're not making it a huge announcement. It's a low-key thing. And, I'm just saying, if you happen to know somebody who works in the comic book industry, maybe somebody will let you know this stuff also. But for now, stick around with the Comic Book University podcast. Bill and Chill, we'll take care of you.
We'll take care of you.
Do you have any headcanon?
Yeah, back to the Avengers comic book. So you know how Moon Knight can control the moon? And you know how Thor's Uru metal, it happens to be space rock, which is it's moon related, man.
Yeah, go on.
So this brings me back to the book, the Agents of Wakanda, the Black Panther Agents of Wakanda. You see how there's a moon on the screen. I'm sorry for all the podcast listeners, but in the video I'm showing an image of the comic, and it's
what is the comic book again?
Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda, issue number 3.
Okay.
The moon has a carved face. There's a green eye and a green mouth, and it's a smiley face there. That's still there, right? The comic book story ends with a moon with a smiley face, and since Marvel has an attached universe, as we established earlier, every comic book needs to reference that moon. Well, I've read Cyclops living on the moon. I see no smiley face. I've seen Dr. Doom's story on the moon, and there's no smiley face. And every other comic book, countless other comic books, there's no smiley face. With Moon Knight being able to control the moon, you can see in the background, you see Thor's hammer going into the moon, and there is no smiley face there. With Moon Knight controlling Moon Rock, he was disgraced by the defamation that was done on this holy site, and so he just repaired that rock. So Chill's headcanon, Moon Knight made it so that there is no smiley face on the moon anymore. That's why we didn't notice it.
I say you deserve a no prize for that.
There it is. I'm gonna get Jim Zub, who wrote the Agents of Wakanda comic book, in on that one.
There you go. Bang. Do it. Get to him before I do, because I want that no prize, man. That's bucket list for me. I've done enough in my life that I can be satisfied with a low tier bucket list. With that on my bucket list, man. That's one of the higher ones. I want a no prize. All right. All that's really left for me is the idea of comic book ads. I'm just going to propose this idea. On all the recent Marvel Comics books, I believe, including Dr. Aphra, there's this really cool ad. So Dr. Aphra #1, but all of the Marvel Comics, there's this cool ad on the back where Thor and Drax are running around with a golden CD in their hand, and this is for Possession, jwavemusic.com. jwavemusic.com. Free plug for you guys because you bought an advertisement and all the art and the story on the Marvel comic page, so you deserve as much popularity as you could possibly get, as much signal boosting as you could possibly get. So here's
we should probably get their name right. Joywave.
What did I say?
Something
I
else.
said J-Wave? My bad. I was reading my own handwriting. That's the problem. So Joywave. There you go. Joywavemusic.com. Possession, the new CD. So I've been seeing more and more people advertising in comic books. Sven Gulli, for crying out loud, was able to afford an individual writing for a miniaturized comic book, a page or two each in like 3 or 4 issues of DC comic books. Sven Gulli, for crying out loud, which was a really good story. Dan Didio himself wrote them. But all that being said, if all these people can advertise in comic books, why can't comic books advertise other places themselves? Why can't they just get the word out? Hey, don't forget, there's still comic books being made. To this day, my peeps. Why is it that people are advertising in comic books? Which, let's face it, how many eyes are really on these things? How many eyes are really on these advertisements, right? That being said, if people can advertise in comics, comics could advertise other places.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah.
You have nothing to add to that?
If I agree with everything, then it's hard to have a contrary opinion.
And Chillmonger smells like herring. It's a kind of fish.
That is false.
No, well, I think that he smells like herring.
All right.
Which fish do you think that you smell like?
Why do I gotta smell like a fish?
Anyway, so nothing we're really going to disagree on a lot this week. Damn it, boring ass podcast. Let's redo this one.
Something in the Venom comic book that we could disagree on.
What was that?
You thought it was good, and I thought it was a waste of money. You talked about the preamble and how epic it was, which it was. But tell me why I'm reading this comic book and I'm just seeing stuff that I've seen in the past, 6 issues repeated for me. I'm paying money for a new book, and all they're doing in the beginning of it, not just the preamble, but the next pages that followed, is telling me what happened in the comic book. When I'm a subscriber to this book, if I was, I'm not really. But number 25 was my first issue of Venom that I picked up, so it was great for me. But if I'm a regular reader of this comic and they increase the price, all to tell me things I already knew about the comic book, then I just got robbed of my money. That was $2 extra I didn't need to pay. I'd have took the $4 book.
Well, they did also have that extra story, that backup story in the back by Michelini.
About peanut butter or something?
Peaches, specifically. Don't disrespect the peaches.
So how in the world did that further the Venom plot?
The story itself did also further because it actually resolved the Venom Island story.
Wow, I read that, so I must have missed this part. How did it resolve the Venom Island story? I thought it was a flashback.
No, he was still on the island when last we saw him, and he just realized that his escape was actually a dream. It was a carnage-induced dream. He was making him believe that he'd actually escaped. And then his son Dylan had to go in and rescue him and all that stuff. No, that is a new story. That whole thing isn't a reboot or
Okay.
just recap. There was recap in it, but it was a whole lot more than that.
Well, it begins with Venom flashback. So as soon as I read that, I kind of tuned out. So
Well, that's
maybe
a
I
shame, especially
I
if it's
got
the
that
first
wrong.
one you read.
Yeah, I got that wrong. I'm sorry.
No big deal. It is what it is. So, as a person who has read all of the issues, and as you being a person who hasn't read any of the issues, we both liked it. So, I think it accomplished its goal.
Here it is.
Hey,
I tried to manufacture a disagreement, and I got
epic
egg on my
fail.
face.
We're too much alike. Damn it. Is what it is.
Wait,
I'll
do you
find
think
something to fight
all
you
lives
about.
matter too?
I do.
Right.
I do think that all lives matter. But at the same time, I do also think that like when, I've got 4 kids, and if one of my kids gets cut and I only have one Band-Aid, I'm not going to go out of my way to give a Band-Aid to all 4 of them, even if, some of them say, "Can I have a Band-Aid too since he got a Band-Aid?" I'll be like, he's the only one who was cut. He's the only one who needs a Band-Aid. So, it's one of those kind of things where sometimes people will say, "But don't all lives matter?" Yes, but some people don't think that this particular group of lives matter, and that's why Black lives matter too.
Think
Am I
about
wrong?
that. Think about that the next time you post something stupid on the internet, white people.
Hey, and there it is. All right, and I think that's our podcast for the week. Y'all, remember, no justice, no peace, and that's with a KN. Anyway, we're out. Professor Bill and Chill, Comic Book University.
Class
Class
dismissed.
dismissed.